Okay, good morning, cupcakes. This is Pre-Med 3, week, week 3, week 4, day 3. We're going to go over a study guide, okay, or study guide or a review. I think I attached this to your notes when I sent you your notes that you finally got, Miss Kenya. All right, the first question is, let me ask you, what are the endocrine glands called? They're called many things, but mainly they're called ductless, D-U-C-T-L-E-S-S. And where's the pituitary gland located? Remember we looked at it in the book yesterday? It's at the base of the brain, base of the brain. What is the pituitary gland also called? It's also called the master gland. What are the functions of the pituitary gland? It affects sugars and starches, responsible for the growth of long bones, and it maintains water balance in our bodies. You're going to see that one of the hormones it secretes is ADH, anti-diuretic hormone. If we didn't have that, we'd all shrivel up and look like a prune. Okay, number 5, how many lobes does the pituitary gland have? It has 2, okay? And what are they? They are anterior and posterior. And how many hormones does the anterior lobe produce? 6. Remember that we looked at them in the book, all the pink ones, and then underneath it, it showed what lavender ovals, what their not only the hormones, but what their function was. All right, and then if 6 are produced by the anterior lobe, then 2 must be produced by the posterior lobe. All right. Now, dwarfism, little people, dwarfism can be caused by a hypofunctioning of the pituitary gland. Think about it. Isn't it responsible for the growth of long bones, your arms and your legs? Well, if your pituitary gland is hypofunctioning, it's not going to emit or send out or produce enough growth hormone for the long bones, and dwarfism will occur. All right, when you have arthritis, what treatment is usually given? It's cortisone, and that is a steroid. Yes, they can make artificial steroids, but your body also produces steroids. Triiodothyronine is a hormone secreted by the thyroid gland, and what does it do? This is like T3 is what it's called, and it stimulates metabolic rate in cells, how fast your cells turn food into energy. Do your cells work like this, or do they work like this? Okay, that's what it means. Okay, where's iodine located? In what gland? In your thyroid gland, all right, right here around the trachea. If your thyroid gland was overworking, what problem would you have? And it would be hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism. And let's see, what's T3 and T4? Well, they're lab tests to see if there is a thyroid problem, but they're also the 2 hormones that are secreted by the thyroid gland, triiodothyronine and thyroxine. That's the 2 hormones. And let's see, a goiter or enlargement of the thyroid gland may be caused due to a lack of iodine. Now, some good sources of iodine include salt and shellfish or seafood, all right? A lot of salt in it, a lot of iodine. How many parathyroid glands do you have? Remember, you have 1 thyroid. How many parathyroid? You have 4, or actually 2 pair, 2 on each side in the back. Tetany is caused by what? That would be a hypofunctioning of the parathyroid. Remember, the parathyroid controls the calcium and phosphorus in your blood. Well, if the calcium is being withheld, your muscles, they're going to tighten up like Charlie horses like you've never seen before, all right? The steroids we talked about for arthritis, they are secreted by what? The adrenal cortex, adrenal glands, one on top of each kidney, and they have sections. They have the cortex, which is the outer section, and then the medulla, which is the inner section, all right? So steroids are secreted by the cortex. And where are your adrenal glands located? One on top of each kidney. And what are the two parts? I just told you they are cortex, which is outer, and medulla, which is inner. The glands that control calcium and phosphorus are, you got four of them, we just talked about them. Parathyroid gland. And the hormone it secretes, remember yesterday I told you it's real easy to remember the hormone it secretes. Parathyroid hormone, PTH. That's the only gland that secretes the hormone that has the same name, parathyroid. All right, what's a powerful cardiac stimulant? Epinephrine. Epinephrine, secreted by the adrenal gland. Remember the fight or flight syndrome we talked about last week in the nervous system? That's what controls it. Okay, and what hormones are secreted by the ovaries? Two, estrogen, progesterone. That's the only two secreted by the ovaries. And what endocrine gland lays, not system, what endocrine gland lays behind the stomach? That's the pancreas. Now, when you hear pancreas, think blood sugar, okay? So the pancreas. What are the two types of diabetes? And they're Roman letters, Roman numerals, type 1 and type 2. What type of diabetes is usually seen in children? Type 1. It's seen in children and in people over 40. That means the pancreas doesn't work at all. And these kids are diabetic from the time they are wee little bitty kids, okay? And imagine trying to tell your 2-year-old, I gotta stick your fingers 4 times a day to check your blood, and then I have to give you shots 4 times a day. Oh Lord, can you imagine? Bless those people. All right, and a decrease in insulin. The actual disease is known as diabetes mellitus, all right? And what gland starts to disappear at puberty? And that would be your thymus gland. Thymus gland. Let's see. Two types of diabetes. And type 1 is seen mainly in people over 40 and children. And hypofunctioning of the pituitary. You got to think about what the pituitary gland does. Growth hormone. If it's hypofunctioning, low function, it's going to cause dwarfism. A group of symptoms that are produced by excess cortisol. Now, first of all, you got to remember what cortisol is. It's a steroid. And a group of symptoms produced by excess cortisol by the adrenal cortex is called Cushing's disease. Let me tell you, you know I've had many back surgeries, and before they did one in particular, I was in the hospital about a week before surgery, and they were coming in every 12 hours and giving me steroid injections. I went in the hospital weighing 132 pounds. I came out after surgery weighing 184. Steroids make you hungry. I would go into the hospital kitchen on the floor. I would make me pieces of toast with jelly because I wanted something sweet. And next thing you know, I'm eating salt because I wanted something salty or sour. My husband would bring me food. I would eat it and go, where's the rest of it? I mean, it was ridiculous. Don't put your hand in front of my face because I'm probably going to bite you. And it wasn't just Cushing. I mean, my whole body was, which is not good because it left me with a permanent eye damage. My optic nerve is supposed to be flat. Mine is curved from all the swelling. Eventually, I lost the weight. But boy, it was miserable. And that's what happens with these bodybuilding weightlifter dudes. I mean, I'm talking to ones that have muscles like that are ridiculous. I don't like guys like that because they take up more mirror time than I do, all right? So that's where you've heard them say they had roid rage, not road rage, but roid rage. It's taking these steroids and they take them and take them and take them to build up muscle. Now, when they stop taking them, they're going to be flabby. Those muscles are going to go flabby, all right? But it messes with your head too. All right, what hormone regulates calcium in the blood and in your bones? Same name as the gland, parathyroid. And an enlargement of the thyroid due to iodine deficiency is a simple goiter. Now, what are the tests performed to see if you have thyroid problems? Do tests. T3 and T4. All right, let's see. What hormone secreted by the thyroid gland, which is one of these hormones we just talked about, but I need the whole long name, stimulates metabolic rate in cells, and that would be triiodothyronine. Now, which lobe of the pituitary gland secretes 6 hormones? The answer is A, anterior. The front lobe secretes 6. The posterior or back lobe secretes 2. And endocrine glands are said to be ductless. Remember, ductless. They don't have a pump like the heart does. So when remember, the hormones are going to leave the organs, and they're going to look for their receptor sites. And when they find them, that's when they're actually going to start working. All right? Okay, cupcakes, I'm going to go ahead and stop now and try and send this on to you. I hope I got it all on here. If I don't, I will check it and see what's on there, and I'll redo it if I have to. But I'll see y'all in a little bit with intro. All right, bye-bye.